First of all, I believe that every student is capable of achieving. Every student will and can learn, or can and will learn. I will say that teaching has a lot to do with building relationships in order to reach success. Student achievement is something that I believe every student can reach, no matter what their situation is, no matter what type of student they are, where they're from, the culture, whether it's cultural diversity, whether it's demographics. Every student is capable of learning. So my philosophy is, if you hand me the students, if they come my way, they are capable of learning. I believe in building teacher-student relationships because that definitely makes a difference in whether or not they see and have a desire to learn. So they want to make themselves happy, they want to make me happy, they want to make their parents happy, and in turn, they will be happy citizens. Teaching. First of all, it involves young people and it involves children. I have always loved children from a child myself growing up. Now, I graduated from college, the first time I graduated with a journalism degree, communication arts. And no, that wasn't in teaching, though I initially started off with teaching and I decided I wanted to write. But after graduating from school, I began to work at the Boys and Girls Club in Kansas City, Missouri, and just being a part of the lives of those young people there and the classes that I taught within that school, within that program, it just kind of reminded me of where I really needed to be. So then I decided I will return and get certified to become a teacher. I love teaching. I love making a difference in the lives of young people. I love seeing how they return to let you know how what they're doing, and they're so excited, and to just see them from the beginning of the school year to the end of the school year, and to see how you are a part of building them and making them into who they are, and just makes me feel like I'm an important part of society. Getting Are looking at the box in the middle. I've encouraged you not to use what? Look at your paper. Which one did I encourage you not to use? A question. How many of y'all have used a question to start off your essay before? So is it wrong? It's not wrong, but we're trying to make sure, since almost everybody here raised your hand for a question, we want to make sure we have some variation and we understand different ways to start off our essays. So it says, how can a reader expect to get a reader's attention without a good hook? I'll read the one that has the question, and that won't be your choice. The first sentence of an essay is often overlooked by writers, but readers depend on it to set the tone for the whole essay. Writing a good hook isn't always easy, but it is an important skill to learn if you want to write effectively. You can look in there and guess what I see? Just what we said, how we explained the start intro paragraph, the attention grabber, the background information, then the thesis. All of it makes the introduction paragraph. So now go ahead and split the rest of them, all except for number 7. Talk in your groups and divide the article. We have number 1, definition. Number 2, a quotation or paraphrase. Number 3, a little known or striking fact. Number 4, a statement of opinion. Number 5, an interesting incident or anecdote. Number 6, an explanation why the topic is worth writing or reading about. We're not doing number 7 because it's a rhetorical question. Let's go. Talk to each other.
While dictionary definitions are okay, most people find
All right,
it
5,
dry.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I'll do 5 too.
Okay. All right, good job. So, now, take out your chart. The chart that looks like this. This is the chart that we prepared in advance. You're going to read. I'm going to give everybody 3 minutes to read your section. Are you ready? The section that you decide to read. 2.5. Ready? Put your pencils down. You're just reading right now. Go.
Dictionary definitions
Oh,
are
I'm sorry. Read it quietly to yourselves. Quietly. Just your section. Your section only.
to our group.
You're reading only your section. Do you have a question?
No.
It's fine. I can answer it.
So we read.
Okay, time out. You're supposed to divide these, right? One person in your group is doing a section of it. Correct? So you're reading quietly to yourselves now. You're not reading out loud to each other. Everybody's reading just their section silently. You understand? All right, go ahead. When you finish reading, make sure you understand it, because you're going to help everybody else at your table understand it. You don't need another sheet. Sorry. Okay. All right. Now, take just a minute. Go ahead and get your pencil and take notes on what you read. Where are you going to take the notes? My notes. The box that says my notes. Not on anything but what you read. Right here. Good job, good job. So pretty. Let's put some. You're looking at the paper, you're not copying, just taking notes from what you read. We read it first. Now we're going back to the movies to see what we missed the first time. 3 more seconds. Since I'm only giving you just a little time because it's just a short little section that you're reading. Ten. Five more. All right, pencils down. So now is where we're going to do our rotation. So we're going to work on not just looking at the paper to see what's being read or knowing exactly what it is we're doing, but we also want to work on our listening skills. So because I want to work on your listening skills, first I need everybody to quickly look over what you wrote so you can be certain. Make sure you understand what you wrote first, because that's what you're going to share. And you use the notes, right? All right, good job. Now let's take this, put it back inside the folder. And we will go back over to make sure you got the information right. But we're going to teach each other now. So at your table, you have students who are comfortable with attention or somewhat comfortable. You have students who felt like they knew a little bit. We're all at different areas. So now let's see if we can pull together for a better understanding as a whole class. Okay? So that student who was on this side, if you know you were close to this side, raise your hand. The student who was the furthest on this side. Okay, that's one. And one leader who was on this closest to this side. There's one person in each group, raise your hand. There we go. So that person is actually going to be the facilitator to help everybody know what you're doing. Okay? Can you handle that? You're sitting by the exit. Are you able to assist? Can you handle it? Okay. All right. Reader number 1. You will read yours aloud. While they are reading, you are listening and taking notes. Everybody get your pencil. Go to reader number 2. That person's going to read out loud. Put that person's name there, please. Where are they reading from? What they wrote. Reader number 2, read out loud. Everybody else is taking the note of what you wrote down. Start reading. Read. It's only just a few sentences that you wrote. Go ahead and read it. Read it out loud to your group. One of you all need to start reading. Go ahead and read so they can take notes from what you're reading. Only one person reading.
Make sure it's relevant to your goal. Make sure it's relevant to your thesis, your topic, your thesis, and background information. You have to avoid overuse quotes.
Okay, stop. Go ahead and read through what you wrote. Make sure it's making sense. Next reader. The next reader, read out loud. Let's go. Everybody else is taking notes. That's my reader number 3. Make sure they know which tension grabber or hook that you're referring to.
The reader might fade away and they might not like the reading interest.
The tension grabber can be a general statement that explains something such as an observation that may choose the certain topic. Responses can issues the tension grabber can be a general statement that explains something such as an observation that may choose the topic.
Now, it's okay for you to explain, but we don't want to tell them exactly what to write down because they're also working on paying attention to what's being read, so you can take notes. But you are teaching each other.
You know, like something that you hear often, because that can be boring. And then something that grabs your attention or relates to the topic. And
All right, raise your hand if your group is ready to move on, so I can know where we are. If you're ready to move on. All right, we're comfortable, but not the most comfortable, right? You think you have an idea of how to use at least 2 different types of attention grabbers or hooks, whatever you call it, lead into your writing. You think you have a few of them, but you could be better. All right, if you're standing in the middle, where are my students who feel like, I know 1, maybe 2, but I'm not real comfortable, but I at least know it? Raise your hand. Who are those students? All right, those. Also, you're on this side or that side? You're over here. Who's over here?
Oh, my.
Who's over there? Not right now. Not right now. Okay, over to the side, please. Who's the most comfortable? All right, let's stay right there. All right, now, on this side, there's not anything wrong with it, because that's why we're doing a mini lesson. You're not quite as comfortable. Right? Okay. So, I need you, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, turn and talk to each other. Why is it that you do not feel comfortable? Turn, scoot over in the group. Over in the group. 6 right here. Talk to each other in the group. I'll tell you what to say. Y'all gotta come off the wall so you can talk to each other. And make a huddle right here, 6 people, and then 6 over on this side. You're talking to the people in your group. You're going to explain to them, what do you know about attention grabber? Why is it that you do not feel comfortable? Or why is it that you feel okay but not quite that well? And why is it that I think I could write one but I could get much better? Okay? And then while you're talking to them, explain the different ways that you can start your essay. What do you use as attention grabber? Start talking to each other. I'm going to give you 1 minute to talk.
This isn't right attention grabber. It's like that's the Lord.
Okay, good job, good job. Now, one person's going to share out. Tell me, if you named one, raise your hand if you were able to name at least 2 within your group. At least 2. Okay, raise your hand if you were able to name at least 3. All right, so I need one person from these 2 groups to share something that was said within your almost comfortable group. Step out so we can. All right, Molly.
We said a question, a quote, and a onomatopoeia.
To start off, so what makes you all feel like that will work? You can buy a vowel. Somebody can jump in with you.
So I can fill it in. Cause it's like, it's not as normal as the other things are, like, it's something different.
So you normally can go ahead and get started with your essays, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Raise your hand. You don't feel like it's the best, but you normally can get started. Good job. There's at least 2 of you all. Over here, share one thing, please. The middle group. Anybody right here?
Well, we said that you can start with a question too, or like a statistic fact.
Okay. Question. I heard question. I heard question. Good job. But I want you to name it because you do know how to do that, and there isn't anything wrong with it. We just want to make sure we move to another level. So that is one that is possible. Okay. So why are you all over here on the end? Do you know what an attention grabber is? You do know what it is?
Yes.
Okay. Somewhat. So that's good. We have to know where you are first.
He said no.
He said no. Okay. So somebody explain something you talked about. Give me one thing you talked about in your group.
He said a word, so I said, it's like, you know, like, oh, like, you can use onomatopoeia, like, all that, and he still didn't understand.
Okay, so you're teaching him. Are you sure you need to be on this side?
It's because I don't know how to start it off sometimes, so that's why.
Okay, you know some types, but you don't know exactly which ones to use at the right time.
Yeah.
For your audience. So it looks like we also have a problem with knowing what to use with our audience. So this is what I would like for you all to do. I'm going to count you off with 4. 1, I'm going to the middle. 2, look at me so you can see me point. When I point to you, go get your stuff and start at table 8. Okay? 1, 2, 3 on the end. Hello? On the end. Go get your stuff, go to table 8. 1, I'm taking you from different areas based on where you're standing, okay? So we can mix in and help each other. 1, 2, 3. No, let's go with my Oscar. Oscar, yes, correct? All right, go to your table. Go grab your stuff from your seat, and you're going to sit at table 7. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go quickly. Let's move quicker. Quickly. 1, 2, right here, these 2. And then 2 over here. Go quickly. To the next table down. We're going to table 6, table 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Table 6, table 5. Take the next table down. 4, table 4, table 3. These 2, these 2. Right, and then you all sit at the other table. Grab your items from your original table where you were sitting, because now we're going to group. We're grouping based on how comfortable you are so that we can share with each other. All right, do you have all your items? Okay, so now we're going to learn more about, I have inside your folders at your table, just sit, it doesn't matter, just sit at that table will work. We have an extra table, it's okay. Go inside the folder and take out the articles. Or the document, the informational document. All right, you will see on the document, it's hooks and attention grabbers. Now, we're going to read this and we're going to assist each other with it. Then we will come back, summarize it together, and make sure we understand. It starts off with the first sentence of your introduction. It's the first chance a reader has to capture attention of the reader. So the ideal is once we go through this lesson, it's actually a mini lesson because you've already learned this, but we need to review beginning of the year. Now that we finished our opening, we're going to start with a mini lesson. Our mini lesson today is going to be over attention grabbers and hooks to go along with the essays that we're writing, making sure our introduction paragraphs are flowing properly. We know the order in which they go in. What's the first thing that goes in the paragraph? The introduction paragraph. The hook or attention grabber. The second thing? You got to have background information. And then what? The thesis statement. So in order to get your reader to want to come to your thesis statement, you have to first do what?
attention.
Get their attention, just like we just said with our quotes from Aretha Franklin. Respect. You're going to make them respect you, but you need to earn their respect, okay? So we're going to do a decision line first, and you're going to help me see, based on what I saw from our last lesson with this mindset writing, I realized that a lot of you all are having a problem with starting off with your attention grabber. So the first thing that you will do is make sure that I understand that you know what you know. I will have you stand in that order. The most comfortable with attention grabber, those who are not quite as comfortable, and those who are like, I heard the word, but I really don't have any idea what it's about, okay? That's when we'll do our decision line in the back. At that time, after we finish that, I will group you according to how you answered. You don't know how, but I will group you, so you're making sure everything's put away at your desk, and you'll come back and seal the groups based on how well you understand attention grabber. After then, we will do another assignment, which is this roundtable summary discussion over some information that you have inside the manila folder on your table, explaining more about attention grabbers. But we will work collaboratively to make sure that it takes place. You're going to read different types of ways that you can start your sentences, share them with each other, and then we will look in the middle. We will summarize in the middle from each other's notes. One person will read out loud. You will take notes while they're reading. The next person take notes while they're reading. Then go back and read what you wrote. And then we'll put it together and see if we have a better understanding of attention grabbers. At the end of this protocol, we will then go back to the back of the room and see if our view of attention grabbers change. Any questions? All right. So the first thing I need you to do, think, everybody think. How well do you understand an attention grabber? Based on when you started writing or we started working on introduction paragraph, when I told you just do your draft, how well do you understand? Do you know at least 2 or 3 of them that you can use at the appropriate time? Do you know maybe one, but you don't know how to use it properly, or you can't think of any more? Do you know none? Have you heard the word and you just heard the word? This is where you're going to start. If you are really comfortable, stand on this end. If you are about comfortable, you're in the middle, and take the line down to the side. Let's go. Don't take your stuff with you yet. Leave everything at your desk. I will let you know when we need to do that. All right, go ahead and put your sweater back on. All right. Now think about